Hello everybody. Today we are going to be looking at this Lincoln brochure that I bought off of eBay. Oh, there's a cat walking by right there. And this is a bit of a false advertisement because when I bought this, so the seller advertised it as like a 30-page, full line 2001 brochure. And the picture on the eBay post was like this. It was like it looked like it was huge. Now, I already have a full line Lincoln brochure from this era that I have actually showcased in some of my other videos. And I was like, oh, this is like another one that's different because it showed some different pictures on there. So I bought it. It wasn't very expensive, but then when I got it, I was like, what is this? Now it's still, multi-page full line brochure, but I, just like what she said, I expected it to be bigger. All right, so let's look at this tiny but mighty brochure. So first of all, yes, it is very small. They got a bunch of stuff here that's written down, not a whole lot interesting. This is once again from an era where they put some weird stuff like I don't get it. I don't understand why they would do that. What does that have to do with Lincoln? Especially these old like running shoes. What does that do? So yeah, so Lincoln LS, some of the photography they're reusing right from the larger brochure that I showed you. So some of the stuff, like when I skimmed through it, yeah, like this shot, like it's exactly the same shot, just in a much smaller ratio here. Yeah, it's interesting to see the stick shift Lincoln with that little tiny sliver of wood right there. Navigator. So yes, this shot was reused, but then I think, yeah, so this is an interesting piece right up here. So you guys know most navigators right in that console area had just an empty hole where, nowadays you would throw in your cell phone. But back in the day where the cell phones were, like this little thing, that was generally too big. So this is actually the first like non-Google picture of this type of navigation system that I've ever seen in a brochure. None of the other brochures actually have that. So, and it's also interesting how some of the buttons that they have listed. So, okay, so repeat. So that's clearly a designated button to repeat the voice instructions. I've never seen that before. So map is fine. Then there's a button that says detour. That's also very strange. And then there's a button for volume. So what kind of a setup? I mean, I've never seen that before. Plus, look, there's a speaker. So the sound wouldn't come from your speakers, in the car. It would show up from there. And then the scrolly wheel is probably how you would select. You would turn and you would select, letters or numbers off of the screen, off of the selection screen. So yeah, and look at this. An optional navigation system equipped with global positioning system, well, yes, that's what navigation system is, calibrates where you are relative to your final destination and illuminates the results on a conveniently located, easy-to-use 5-inch color console display for viewing. So, wow, like I've never used an older style navigation. Actually, as a matter of fact, the only car I ever had with navigation system was the 2010 Buick LaCrosse, and I used it. Now, that's 9 years after, and it was touchscreen. It was pretty modern. It got me a couple times lost when I took it out on a longer trip, but yeah. But obviously it was a much better system than this. So yeah, like on the trips to California from Illinois, I plugged it in. It took out some weird roads every once in a while, but overall it was great. Here, right here, this is the one thing that this brochure has that the bigger one doesn't, is the Blackwood. And I think the reason for that is because Blackwood, I think, was only for North America, and then the larger one I had, I think, was for Canada. So I don't think Blackwoods were ever in Canada, at least not, intended for. So, arriving in the spring of 2001, the all-new 2002 Lincoln Blackwood, a rear-wheel drive luxury utility vehicle, offers 4 full-size doors, distinctive styling, standard amenities, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I don't have any sort of Lincoln Blackwood brochures, and this is the one thing that this one is really unique, and I'm glad I got it because of it. I mean, yeah, Lincoln Blackwood gets a lot of crap. Okay, I get that. I understand why. I don't know though. What's the big deal? It was an early attempt of a luxury truck. I mean, right now a lot of trucks are luxury. A lot of trucks these days they go, over 100 grand in some cases. Yeah, some of the choices that they've made were unique, but ultimately they just try to spruce up a Ford F-150. You can't blame them for that. I'm surprised they didn't have a Mercury version of that either. So I'm surprised that they only did the Lincoln version. They could have done a mid-luxury version with a Mercury. So in any case, they don't put a lot of effort into this because it's only just two pages. Well, actually 3 pages. So yeah, so here they are showcasing their unique tailgate, and they want it to be unique. That's all it is. Now, it's interesting how on this portion, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it just says wood. So it's that black and then wood on the other side. So very weird. They couldn't just put, Blackwood in one word on one side. So yeah, like from here it looks fine. It doesn't look much different than a Ford truck. And then, here they're showcasing some of their, so here they're putting in, an overhead console, which is this thing. I mean, what's so unique about that, other than that it had a buttons for that trunk thing, for the gate. So yeah, I mean, they had a little cover, and then they had the 2 barn door things, but it's, again, you can't blame them for being unique. Now, it didn't work, I get it. And the interior also had that little tiny navigation system. You guys probably cannot see that, but it is pictured right there. Yeah, but it's a Blackwood, all right? Get over it. So yeah, town car, good old town car with the same picture as before. So, yep, I think some of this is reused exactly like that. Continental, don't remember this picture, but I think the next one, yeah, that's about what it is. What else? Okay, just more Continental. I was never a big fan of these buttons on a Continental, but it is what it is. Okay, ballerina for some reason. Yeah, like some of the marketing stuff here, like I don't know what they write. And here's the last part, which is interesting. All right, so I'm lucky enough to get this original contact card. So the usual, you fill it out. What kind of vehicle do you want? I like that the Blackwood was the last one here. What vehicle? And then this is the funniest part, right? Generally, how would you prefer to receive information from us? Posted mail, email, please do not contact me. So let me get this straight. Somebody's gonna fill this out, all right? So no postage necessary. So because I was almost gonna say like they're gonna waste a stamp, but it looks like they're not gonna be wasting a stamp. They're gonna fill this out and like, all right, so it's assumed that if you fill out, like I want a town car, which is interesting. Town car is number 1 in this list. All right. Although the LS was the first in the series of pictures. So you're going to fill all this out, but then you're going to put don't email, like don't contact me. So then why are you going to fill this out? Just to tell them you want to buy a car, but they can't do anything about it? I don't know. Beats me. Well, here you go, guys. Small but mighty Lincoln Brochure American Luxury. And we'll see you next time.